Nice to break our losing streak. We had a comeback today. We were down about 7,000 per E-mini, and then we were up as much as a little over 4,000 per E-mini, and then the market came back. Efficient markets, this comeback kind of reminds me of some of the sporting events, games yesterday. Tom Brady made his comeback. For those football fans out there that like to watch Tom Brady make his comebacks, it's an uncanny ability to do that, and so you know, he has as a football player, he seems to have this ability to solve the defense. It's kind of a human intelligence factor. He works on it. You're frustrated. And then you come back and you use what you've learned throughout the game and you come back in the end. And he's done that quite a bit in his career. And so it's a similar approach to trading. You know, the markets frustrate us. And we use our intelligence and our algorithms and we work to come back. And so nice comeback today. It was a breakout, but we have an efficient market right here. It's harder to trade efficient markets. And let me explain to you why. You make more money in inefficient markets. So you have this channel here, wide-ranging channel, and then there's a breakout. The bottom of that channel is right there. The top of that channel is right there. So from the top of that channel to the bottom of that channel is not much. And so a more inefficient market would do this. It would be, and then break out, and then, you know, the chop is greater than the breakout amount of breakout. This is smaller than the channel that it's in. So it's harder to determine the trend in real time. You know, if you look back at the chart at the end of the day, it's easier to see that, and so it's more in this situation it's more inefficient because the channel is right in here. And then the breakout is bigger. This distance is larger than the channel. So that's what I wanted to share with you on efficient markets. And we've really dealt with a market in general that's been more efficient lately than inefficient. And so let's go over the trades on the day. We used our BLITZ package today, loaded up a little bit on some of our favorite strategies that we took out and wanted to put back in because they are some of the top performers. And those weighed us down on the day, especially Zig Zag. We've been trying to time that one and thought I had a good entry point, and it had one of its worst days. So I'm glad that we were up on the day regardless of how bad Zig Zag did. Let's look at the worst part of Zig Zag here. And so you see just this drop off. And so what I'm looking at though is every time you have an equity peak and then a pullback, the next time it makes an equity peak, it might pull back a little bit and then it runs. And then, okay, here's an equity peak, but it's further apart. It's further away from this one. And so I guess that's similar to what we went through now. But you have an equity peak right here, and then it runs. And then you have a pullback there, an equity peak, and it runs. And then you have a pullback, equity peak. It pulls back a little bit, and then thought it might run like some of these others. But in general, it's hard to time this, and we wanted to have a strategy like this. And so even though this lost so badly today, this is based on 2 E-minis, one of its worst days. You see here it had on 1025 minus 69, and then you know, it's had a run up since then. And so you see minus 4,500 there. This is based on 2 E-minis now. And so going back to September, it is the worst day since September, so pretty bad timing on that. But we didn't add that strategy on its own. We added it with a group of strategies. And so the sum of the BLITZ strategies that we added today were down. But we're looking at this from the longer term picture perspective. Adaptive moving average did really well. And then the new adaptive moving average also did well today. AVP1 was back in. It did well. Parabolic VSD was up. And so momentum reversal has these two strategies, momentum reversal and Zig Zag, are they're not very correlated at all. And so on a day like today, our other strategies did well. These didn't do as well. And so I expect these strategies to do well on days the other strategies don't do as well. So it's the diversity that we talk about. So there's the E-mini BLITZ setup. You see adaptive moving average 2023 up on the day. VTNQ down a small amount, minus 15 per E-mini. Zig Zag, like I said, down, big down day for that. The temptation is to double down. I'm not going to do that on that particular strategy. Something to consider. Parabolic VSD, around break even. Adaptive moving average up on the day. EVP1 up on the day. Momentum reversal, had a short trade. Thought the market would roll over here. Very choppy in here. It's very annoying to see so much back and forth. Early on, it just felt like all of our trades were going against us. So it was nice to see just a little bit of a breakout. I thought we might have another 100 points to go on the Nasdaq, but I was overly optimistic, it looks like. And the market kind of hem and hawed at the end of the day and tried to mean revert. And so we're dealing with this efficient market that wants to mean revert and make the trend hard. And so there's cycles that happen like that. We're trading a set of strategies that did well in October. The markets, this is similar to what happened in October, and this set of strategies did well in October. And so we didn't trade the entire month of October. We got in at the end of the month. And so here is the base strategies that we were trading, the stock index portfolio market internal strategy 18. Viper had a good day. Tick pullback, one of the highlights of the day. Tick got in and stayed in this trade all day. You know, a lot of the day it was against us, and so it didn't really start going our way until the afternoon. And so when you look at a strategy like this, oftentimes you'll think, wow, that had a really good trade, but most of the day you're underwater. You see, here's the entry price right here, and then market started selling off, and so, well, we're just going to get stopped out. It's going to be a repeat of Friday's trade, where this trade got in, stopped out, got in, stopped out, and at the end of the day, Friday it rallied. So it's been back to this point. The market comes to this point, sold off, comes to this point, sold off, comes to this point, Sunday night, it sold off, and it came to this point, sold off, sold off, sold off, and then it finally started going this way. Maybe a preview of what the market wants to do after the midterms. Oftentimes the market will decide in advance what it wants to do regardless of the outcome. And so the market seems like it wants to rally after the midterms. Got a little bit of a preview of what could happen here. And so the seasonals and the liquidity still seem to be the strength in this market. Tick reversal up on the day. Got the short trade, the reversal along. Tick reversal 2023. Small scratch trade basically. Tick pulse down on the day. And so ES strategies in the 18 MIT. Tick fader up on the day, taking this short trade, and then tick count trend. The micro version of this trade was a little different, but they both hit their profit target. And then tick count trend down on the day. Let's look at the micro version of tick fader. It traded a little differently. It got in at a little bit later price, and then the sell-off, it hit its profit target. So took a little longer because the E-mini S&P version got in at a lower price, so it needed a more took longer to get that sell-off to hit its profit target. So they're not always exact, but they both hit their profit target today. And so those are the trades on the day. Here again are the results. Tomorrow is the midterm elections, so not sure what's going to happen there. Sometimes those can spawn a trend regardless of the outcome. And then Thursday we have CPI. I went back and looked at the past year of CPI reports to see what the market did. The final result on the day, a lot of times it seems like it goes up initially or fights to go up initially. But these are the final closing prices for all the CPI dates over the past year. You could potentially research this. So one of the things I did want to say was the hypotheticals were different than the live, and I don't know why. I need to go back and double check my hypotheticals. I know that I came back a few minutes after the close and I still had some positions, and so I had some automation issues that were off, I guess. And so I'm going to go back and check and make sure these hypotheticals are actually correct before I know for sure. So those are the trades on the day for Monday, November 7th, 2022. Good to have an update today. Hey, David Bean here. Welcome to Capstone Trading Systems YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe to join our community of algorithmic traders. We are real money traders. We share our winning streaks, we share our losing streaks, as well as market updates, strategies, and coding tips.